Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming to this Mindful Moments series from the Reddick Public Library District. This month's theme is all about sleep. My name is Laura. I am the Adult Services Librarian with the Reddick Library. As I start all of the Mindful Moments series that I put on, I just want to clarify that I am not a medical doctor, nor am I an expert in this field. I am just presenting information as a librarian who's done her research. So let's get started on all about sleep. I wanted to start with a couple of quotations here from Petra Hawker. She is a sleep specialist doctor, and I got most of the information for this presentation from her, as well as the Sleep Foundation. So she specializes in sleep disorders and why sleep is important for humans. And here are a couple of quotes from her. It has been estimated that at any time, up to half of adults are experiencing some sort of sleep issue. Sleep research is constantly evolving, and we now know how vital sleep is in supporting both physical and mental health. So why learn about sleep? Why is sleep important? I'm sure we all have some vague idea of how important sleep is. I know we probably all know the negative side effects of getting too little sleep, but I wanted to talk about some reasons why sleep is important and some information about sleep as well. So here's a quote from the Sleep Foundation. We tend to think of sleep as a time when the mind and body shut down, but this is not the case. Sleep is an active period in which a lot of important processing, restoration, and strengthening occurs. I didn't know that before I started my sleep research. I always thought of it as a time when our body just, clicks off for the night. But actually, our bodies are quite active and our minds are quite active during sleep. So here are 5 benefits of sleep. It replenishes your body energy. It helps repair itself and build new cells. That gives us the get up and go in the morning. It helps manage weight control. It can regulate feelings of hunger and fullness. And sleeping well can help you manage food intake and control your weight. It lifts your mood. It can strengthen your emotional resilience. There's also evidence that it can reduce the risk of depression and other mental illnesses. It can decrease the risk of heart disease. Sleeping less than 6 hours a night actually increases the risk of heart disease, and deep sleep lowers both your heart rate and blood pressure. And it can clear your mind. So your body performs vital housekeeping as you sleep, and it sorts through all the daily data that you encounter and stores it away as short-term or long-term memories. So here are 5 well-known benefits of sleep. So I was a little familiar with this, but I learned a lot more, as I'm sure you might be too, about there are different stages of sleep. So there are 4 main stages of sleep. The first stage is called light sleep, and this is of when you can easily be awoken. So if you're dozing on the couch during a football game or something like that, and you can easily wake back up from it. It's also when you might experience muscle jerks as you're falling asleep. That's a common thing that can occur during this stage of sleep. It's because your heart rate is decreasing at a rapid rate, that your body jerks itself awake to make sure that you're actually doing okay, that your heart's not beating too slow for your body. So the second stage of sleep is called non-rapid eye movement. So this is when you're properly asleep. So your brain activity decreases, your breathing becomes shallower, your heart rate slows, and your body temperature drops. Then we move into the third stage of sleep, which is called slow wave sleep or deep sleep. So this is the most restorative stage of sleep, and your brain activity and blood pressure are really low. And if you're woken up from this state, you might feel really confused and disoriented. This is when sleep paralysis can occur during this stage. And stage 4, which is called rapid eye movement or REM, and this is when we dream. So this is when brain activity increases significantly and breathing and heart rate rises. So these are the main sleep cycles, the 4 sleep cycles. And if you sleep for 7.5 to 8 hours every night, it's estimated that you go through 5 complete sleep cycles. Okay, so moving on, talking about natural cycles. So how you sleep and everything else is dependent on what you do the rest of the day as well. So this is also called circadian rhythms or your biological clock. And throughout the day, we experience different levels of energy, alertness, wakefulness, and sleepiness. So this all boils down to sleep cycles too. So I found this graphic on the open source workplace, and I thought it was a really cool thing to share as to how your body is affected every day. Everybody's natural cycle or circadian rhythm biological clock is different, but this is pretty average. It shows what time of day your body temperature is the highest, which is at 7 p.m. It talks about when you're at your most alert, fastest reaction times, usually in the afternoon. And I thought this was a really cool graphic. So I'll pause here for you all to look at it a little bit. And again, this is when, based on somebody who is awake during the day. So you might have noticed on this graphic that it talks about serotonin and melatonin. So I wanted to talk about the role of hormones in sleep cycles and things like that. So serotonin is often referred to as the happy hormone. And this is what we should be experiencing as we wake up in the morning. Production of this chemical depends on natural light and promotes wakefulness and regulates your nervous system. So we're seeking serotonin during the day to keep us going and keep us active. And then at night, we're talking about melatonin. So this is called the sleep hormone, and production of this depends on low light conditions, and it lowers your body temperature and blood pressure. So these are the 2 most important hormones during your daily natural cycle, your circadian rhythm. So how much sleep do we need? So according to Petra Hawker, these are the average amount of hours that we need. So for babies, 14 to 17 hours, preschoolers, 10 to 13 hours, school age kids, 9 to 11 hours, teenagers, 8 to 10, adults 7 to 9, and seniors 7 to 8. So something that I thought was interesting here is, especially for teenagers, so adolescents often undergo a change in their natural sleep pattern, with sleep onset delayed to 2 a.m. and wake up time between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. So this can lead to fatigue and lack of concentration during the day. So teenagers going through puberty, they have their whole systems messed up. So that's why teens usually stay up later and wake up later. So for adults, that's usually talking about, ages 21 to 65. And evidence increasingly points to the fact that we need to sleep long enough every night. So this isn't, oh, I'll get 5 hours of sleep tonight and then I'll sleep 10 hours on the weekend. We should really strive to get the same amount of sleep with the same bedtime and wake up time every night. So seniors, 7 to 8 hours, it's often a misconception that the need for sleep declines with age. In fact, the amount we need diminishes only a little, but we experience less slow wave sleep, so that deep sleep, and slightly less REM sleep as we age. That's why seniors are often dozing off during the day. So, what are some sleep strategies? So, when I'm talking about sleep strategies, I'm talking about sleep hygiene, ways to maximize the most amount of sleep and get good quality sleep. So, here are some tips and tricks. Keep regular sleeping hours. Go to sleep and wake up at the same time every day. So, I briefly mentioned that, but Petra Hawker says that if you observe only one sleep hygiene rule, make it this one. Going to sleep and waking up at the same time every day is the most effective way to keep your internal body clock on an even keel. So that is what she says as the sleep specialist, the most important thing for sleep hygiene. So here are some other strategies from her. Keep your bedrooms for sleeping and don't use it for other leisure activities. Don't use it for watching TV. Don't use it for playing games with your family. Keep your bedroom just for sleep if you can. Avoid digital devices for at least an hour before sleep. This includes TV, computer screens, phone screens, everything else. Invest in an alarm clock so you're not dependent on your phone as an alarm. Start a wind down routine. So if you have a wind down routine every night, that signifies to your body that it's getting ready for sleep. So if you read a chapter of a book in your armchair downstairs before you go to sleep every night, and then you make sure I'll walk around the house and make sure all the lights are off, try to do the same thing every night for your body to get into the habit. She says to avoid alcohol and caffeine at least 6 hours before bed. Caffeine can live in your body for 10 hours. So keep that in mind as you're consuming caffeine, and as far as coffee beverages, sodas, things like that, to avoid it at least 6 hours before bed. Petra Hawker says to avoid long daytime naps. She suggests to do brisk exercises during the day, like jogging and doing sports, and do gentler activities in the evening, walks and yoga. This helps regulate your heart. Lower your exposure to natural light in the bedroom, so invest in some blackout curtains if your bedroom is bright. She says that the ideal temperature for good sleep is around 65 degrees. So if possible, make your bedroom around 65 degrees. You should want to curl up with a blanket or have warm, cozy clothes on to sleep. Remove pets from your bedroom. Pets do not have the same kind of sleep cycles as we do, dogs, cats, etc. So they will interrupt all of our sleep. So if possible, remove pets from your bedroom. Keep plants in your room. So if allergies do not prevent you from having plants, it's a great idea to have a plant in your bedroom because it helps with our oxygen levels in our bedroom. Invest in good bedding and pillows. What feels good to you, not just what's the cheapest. And carefully select a mattress. So when it's time to buy a new mattress, really take your time trying out mattresses and feeling which one feels right to you. Invest in a white noise machine or sleep with a fan on. So especially if you live near a busy road, a busy intersection, things like that, a white noise machine or a fan can really help make consistent noise so inconsistent noises are not waking you up. Practice deep breathing exercises to calm the body and mind before bed. So if you are unfamiliar with deep breathing exercises, there are a lot of great resources available on the internet, as well as books available through the library. I also did a Mindful Moments presentation on breathing exercises a few months ago, and they help lower your blood pressure, calm your mind, calm your body, and it's a great thing to practice before bed. Avoid sleeping stressed. If possible, I know that's easier said than done, but try to get those stressors out of the way before bed. Take a warm bath or shower before bed. So this helps calm your body as well as calm your mind. So here are some sleep strategies for broken sleep. So this is when you wake up in the middle of the night. Keep the lights off as much as possible and try to block out sounds with earplugs. They make great foam earplugs that are relatively inexpensive. A big thing that Petra Hawker says is ignore the clock. The more you stress out about, I only have 4 hours until I have to get up. I only have 3 hours until I have to get up. That creates stress in your mind, and it makes it harder for it to turn off. Try in-bed meditative relaxation. So this is muscle relaxation tips, mantras to repeat over in your head. Again, I've taught a class on early meditative strategies, and this is when you calm your mind, calm your muscles, focus on each body part as you relax it. There, again, are great things to listen to online or books or magazine articles to refer to for this. And if all else fails, go to another room and do a low-stress activity like reading or listening to calming music until you feel sleepy again. So I hope this has explained some of the reasons why sleep is important, what sleep is all about, what happens to your body during sleep, and some sleep strategies for you. And this quote comes from the Sleep Foundation. The best sleep habits are consistent, healthy routines that allow all of us, regardless of our age, to meet our sleep needs every night and keep on top of life's challenges every day. Here are other sources that I looked through. This book, Sleep: Harness the Power of Sleep for Optimal Health and Well-Being by Petra Hawker, PhD, and the website sleepfoundation.org. The book is available through interlibrary loan through Reddick Public Library. And I really hope that this has helped you in some way. Take care.